Yo guys, what's going on? My name's Chris. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. Today, what I'm going to talk to you about is the top books that impacted my life the most. And let's say you don't know where to get started on a self-development journey. Maybe you're strapped for cash and you can't afford a coach or a mentor right now to be able to explain these things to you. But you're really dedicated on improving yourself. Well, check this out. I was once there too, and I put together a list of books that you can buy for less than $100 and easily turn into millions of dollars. So let's get started. So there's this old saying that your diet is more than just the food you eat. And in the context of what we're talking about here, what you put into your mind is as important, if not more important, than what the food that you choose and put into your body is. Okay? Your mental diet is going to dictate where you go in life, fundamentally. The worst thing you can put into your mind is the news. The best thing you can put into your mind is self-development, is information that greats that have lived and have passed down. People have been reading the Christian Bible forever, right? And it's considered, the greatest book per se in self-development in a religious aspect. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't necessarily disagree. But what I did is I picked 6 books for you guys that have impacted me most, and I'm going to get started with the first one now. All right, so check it out. When I was pulling all these books from my bookshelf, which is over there, I was pulling my favorite book off the shelf, which I've read more than any other book. And it is falling apart at this point. And that's Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? This book is the OG self-development book, along with some others we're going to talk about. But just check this out real quick. Before I explain to you about the book, the cover doesn't even attach anymore. The first page doesn't even attach anymore, nor the second. And I have no back. So I've read this book approximately 10 times, give or take. I would say it has helped me the most. I would be considered brash or rash and direct and forward. However, many, many years ago, before I read this book, it was times 100. And the tactics of tact and how to deal with people is the best in Dale Carnegie's book. I mean, he's the leader of that type of information in the self-development world. And I highly recommend this book to everybody I talk to, especially if you have a difficult time working with other humans, which at one point I did too. Number 2, Napoleon Hill, How to Think and Grow Rich. This is the Bible of law of attraction in self-development. It was actually written around the same time, within the same decade, 20s and 30s. This was written in the 30s, I believe. Let's just double check it. 1937. Napoleon Hill is a very controversial man. Believe it or not, there's a lot of naysayers that say that many of the things that he claimed he did, he didn't. However, you cannot argue the amount of books that have sold. This book specifically has sold somewhere around like 20 or 30 million copies and has been in print for almost 100 years, getting close to the century mark. It's an excellent book that teaches you how to control your thought process fundamentally and how to use your thoughts for positive rather than negative, among many other things. Highly recommended, especially if you're spiritual or religious, and definitely if you want more out of life and in business. Number 3, all right, I hesitated to put this one on, but The Laws of Success, written by Napoleon Hill, is the predecessor to Think and Grow Rich. This book was written in 1928. This book was written in 1937. Most people don't know this was the original book. And it is much thicker and much more in depth. I don't know if you could tell really. Let's try it like this. Yeah, you could tell on that angle. It's about twice the amount of content, and it's raw. It's not watered down. It's not heavily published, and it's deep. He talks about some crazy stuff. He talks about sex energy. He talks about enemas. I mean, he talks about a lot of things that are very far-fetched, but it is excellent law of attraction and self-development content. I've read this book 3 times. And it is fantastic. It takes me about 3 months to read. It's a lot, but it's a great book. All right, number 4, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dave Schwartz, Dr. Schwartz. This book is fantastic for setting your mindset around thinking bigger, setting goals about thinking bigger, having a leadership that's about thinking bigger. This book is just about basically not thinking small and playing small. If you're in business, if you want to do better in life, if you are into the self-development aspect of things, this book, I think it's less than 20. Yeah, it's $16. It's actually cheaper than my book, and it is a monster. It's a beast. I mean, 6 million copies sold, and I bought this book like 10 years ago. So it's I think it was written in the 50s, and Schwartz was a professor, or is a professor, or whatever. The point is, Dr. Schwartz is a beast. Okay, number 5, my man, Gary Vee. We've reviewed him before on this show. This was not his first book. Many people think this was his first book. This was his first self-development book. His first book was on wine, where he got started. Many people that seem like overnight celebrities, especially in the self-development community like Gary Vee, actually put a decade into building his family business, which sold wines in New Jersey, before he started getting into the social media and self-development, which is what he's known for in his marketing and social media marketing. Crush It is actually on the same premise of Magic of Thinking Big. It's like a updated version of getting out of your own way and pursuing whatever it is you want to do, explaining that everybody can do it. Anybody. And some really big people reviewed this book. Tony Robbins, Tony Hsieh, which we're actually going to get into Tony Hsieh's book next. But highly recommended. Quick read. It's only about 140 pages. And Gary Vee is the GOAT when it comes to digital marketing. He has other books on digital marketing, which I would recommend as well, but it didn't make the list of the most influential books that basically impacted me. This one did. Crush It. It's like $10. All right, last but not least, number 6, Tony Hsieh's book, Delivering Happiness. Delivering Happiness is a fantastic high-level book on basically culture within a company, building a tribe, building a culture so tight-knit that the tribe regulates itself, pushing people out that are unneeded or won't play ball, and bringing people in that they want to work with. Tony Hsieh he's no longer with us. He actually died in 2020 suddenly in his 40s. I'm not sure what happened. However, he was I believe Harvard grad, either Harvard or Princeton, and while he was working full time, he also started building an e-commerce site selling shoes, Zappos, right around the .com era of like 98, 99. And he was one of the first online retailers doing drop shipping when it came to shoes. And he ended up selling Zappos 10 years later to Jeff Bezos himself for over $1 billion. Jeff Bezos kept Tony on, just to teach Jeff Bezos about culture. not only for Amazon, but for Zappos. It's a great, great book, especially if you're a business owner struggling with culture or want to learn more about culture. Highly recommended. All right, guys. So you guys know I've been offering calls on me for free. If you want to learn any more about these books or other books that can help you, I want to chat with you. I want to build the community. I want to introduce you to other like-minded people. So book a call on me. All it will cost you is your time. The link is in the show notes, and I look forward to speaking to you guys. That's what I got for you today, guys. Those are the books that impacted me most and very well can impact you greatly, all for $100. If you got anything out of this show, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and if you've read any of these books, drop a comment below and let's talk about them.